Well, we're going to have a plethora of good times today. How about that, champ?
Nice. If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets Up, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
We're back with a full breakdown of our next movie, Playing for Keeps.
And as usual, it's worse than we thought.
Yeah, that 4% on Rotten Tomatoes doesn't lie.
Oversold, I think.
Oversold by like 4%.
Yeah, I expected 4% good.
Yeah, no, it's not even. There's not even that much. So, just in case you missed trailer trash, what's the summary of this movie?
Sure. So we watched Playing for Keeps, in case that wasn't abundantly clear by the title and the description. And the premise here is a former sports star who's fallen on hard times starts coaching his son's football team as a way to get his life together. His attempts to become an adult are met with challenges from the attractive football moms who pursue him at every turn.
So, a lot of problems with that logline, that story, that synopsis, but
still pretty Eurocentric. Yeah, we didn't edit it like we could have between the trailer trash and now.
Nope, it's not American football. It is the soccer. But this is pretty spot on.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it describes some of the things that happened in the movie, so I guess that's all you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's not completely off the rails, or it's just like, or super generic, where anything could be happening. It's like, oh yeah, he does coach his son's soccer team, and
he is a former sports star.
Former sports star, and
there are soccer moms.
There are soccer moms who challenge him.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. This movie does what it says on the box. You know. For worse.
Or worse. Probably worse. So the expectations and predictions, how'd we do?
Pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually we nailed it.
Yeah. So we are both on board with him and Jessica Biel ending up together again.
Yes.
Which, spoilers for the end, of course, happens frustratingly.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm kind of right, I think, too, in that I bet Big Pharma won.
I think you're very right. And, a little more behind the scenes, right? But I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, because at the end, also, I feel like we usually don't give away the end so early, but whatever. Who cares? Yeah, you'll see where this is going anyway as soon as we start talking about it.
Yeah. Well, you could just say the very end. Like, you could just say the very end. Like, he gets his own.
He gets a show. Yeah.
It's a show. You can say that. You don't have to go through.
I mean, yeah. Well, but that's like, I feel like that's the end. That's like the big surprise, kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I guess we did just say it because we said he does get back together with it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter anyway. So he gets back together with Jessica Biel. He gets his own sports casting show about sports, and presumably, their best sponsors are all big pharma companies. So.
Most likely, which was what Jared had predicted, which I agree. Yeah.
Ben Gay, maybe.
Can't run a show without big pharma,
Nope, sure can't. As we know. Get your COVID vaccine.
Yep, that's right.
Sponsored by
all of them.
Yeah, yes.
So,
and us. We chipped in a couple bucks for that.
So now that we've completely spoiled the end of the movie, stay with us because the journey is really what it's about.
It's just beginning.
Oh, the other thing we need to comment too, we tried to guess this brief, intense image because it's rated PG-13, and one of the things was language, some sexual situations, and brief, intense image.
Great call. Yep.
I did not see a brief, intense image. We have a couple theories, but
yeah, no, nothing.
It is such a generic thing to say. Brief, intense image.
Yeah, and I don't think there was nothing intense about this movie at all.
Yeah. And like, how long is brief really? Is that like half a second? Full second?
Sure.
5 seconds?
Right.
What's an image really?
Yeah. What is an image really?
When it comes down to it, right?
So for example, watched a rom-com last night also. New one, Netflix, Love Hard, which
Funny, I came across it on my ITMT profile, and I was like, oh, maybe this would be a good one for the show. It's like actually 47%.
Yeah, it's like actually pretty good.
Okay.
And it's got Jimmy O Yang, who I love, from Silicon Valley and other things. And it was like there were moments that were tense. Like, it's not a great movie, but it's still, I was like, oh, okay, I feel something. This movie, I didn't feel anything. Right?
Yeah, there was zero feeling in this.
Okay, good.
And I just don't.
You're on the same page.
The brief, intense imagery. You also think of that being more like a physical thing, not like two people being intense with each other. That'd be a brief, intense. That'd be like a brief, intense moment.
And that's what I was wondering. What it was. I mean, I forgot it was rated PG-13. And you reminded me because I was like, oh, maybe this is a kids movie, and maybe like they get in a couple little scuffles. Yeah. In the movie, well, physical altercation. Maybe that's a brief, intense image. There are images of cheat. Oh, wait, you know what? I bet it was.
Yeah, I think you die. Yeah. Go ahead.
I bet it was the jail.
Yeah.
I bet that counts.
It's pretty intense. It was brief.
Okay.
Well, we'll maybe call out more as we go.
Anyway,
good start.
Yeah. What do you give me some info? Let's get into it.
You want some info? Because I got tons of info for this.
Yeah, info me.
All right. So this is directed by Gabriel Muccino. Maybe I'm going to go with Muccino, Italian director, right? Muccino.
Yeah, I would. Gabriel.
So he's directed a bunch of things, a bunch of Italian stuff, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then I think his big break into the American audience was Pursuit of Happiness, the Will Smith movie. But he also directed, which I think is one of Jared's favorite movies, 7 Pounds.
You're right. It is.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for Will Smith.
And that concludes another segment of How Well You Know Your Other Host.
Yes.
Yeah. 7 Pounds.
Yeah. I love 7 Pounds. And we talked about maybe doing that for the podcast, right? Because it's supposedly bad. Some people say it's
bad. It's like a 27%er, and then it's like 65%, audience or something like that. So
right. Yeah.
We'll reverse Aru.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes the fans
that's neat. Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea. This really sucked.
Yeah.
Compared to those two movies.
But it's going to make sense come Fast Facts. So it will start making sense why this was bad.
Okay.
I get you
covered. Well, while we're on Will Smith for a second,
okay.
I feel like I'm getting too much Will Smith these days.
You're getting overwilled?
Yeah, I think I'm getting overwilled. Do you, I mean, maybe it's because I'm a fan, but like you don't get
possible?
Yeah, I didn't think so. But I get in my Google feed of whatever nonsense now, almost every day there's like a news story like, like Will Smith reveals how he was kind of sad that movie didn't make $80 million and it only made $77 million. I was like, I don't care about this.
It's probably because every time we do this show, we record this,
we talk about Will Smith.
We talk about Will Smith and your phone's listening to you. You have Google everywhere. It's listening to you.
Definitely.
Yeah. We're literally recording this into our computers and they know everything. So
that's true. I mean, I never talk about Jada Pinkett Smith, and I also get a million things from her utter all the time. Like, oh yeah, we have a weird love life, but I've never been dissatisfied with Will in the bedroom. And you're like, okay. I don't care about any of this.
Yeah. That's stuffing over.
Anyway,
we're getting over.
Too much Will Smith news every day. Like, just go. Like, I don't know. Give me movies that I want to watch again.
Yeah.
Like Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
I'm off my box, but that's interesting that this guy directed those movies that were good.
And then he's shifted back to doing like his last 3 or 4 things were all like shorts.
Italian shorts?
Yeah. Those are the ones that come up to your shins.
What?
I think they call them capri pants.
Oh, okay.
So that was a short joke. All right.
Yeah. Took me a sec.
All right. So we got one screenwriter on this. Robbie Fox. Cool name. Yeah. And I was digging through his stuff here, and he did a couple of TV shows. And then So I Married an Axe Murderer. 1993. Okay. Mike Myers and...
Yeah, weird.
You remember that? You remember that one, right?
I do, but weird. Like, why?
It's so right. This guy wrote that. And then he had like a couple things in 98, nothing else that's really stood out to me. And then he was like, didn't write for 14 years or 12 years or something. And then came back with doing like another movie that wasn't very good. And then a couple TV series, and that's it. So, but yeah, This movie's not good either. So, but he had So I Married an Axe Murderer. So I guess if you have one hit, you can, it's all it takes.
Yeah. I guess that's a hit. Yeah.
Right. A cult classic. So, all right. So moving on. We got so the actors who's in this. Our first, we got Gerard Butler, who plays George Dreyer. George Dreyer.
George Dreyer. Yeah.
George Dreyer.
Yep. Former sports star, I believe.
Have to clarify that they're attractive soccer moms, right? Because that's how you have to. No, but the movie does.
You're right.
Oh my God. Noah Lomax, who plays his son Lewis. Jessica Biel plays Stacy, ex-wife and mom.
Yep.
Dennis Quaid, who plays Carl. That's gonna be fun when we get to talking about him. Uma Thurman, who plays, is she Betty or Patty? Patty, I think.
Oh, that was Uma Thurman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patty. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Patty. She's married to Dennis Quaid's character.
Keep forgetting I have face blindness.
Yeah, you definitely do. Catherine, do you say Zeta or Zeta? Catherine Zeta-Jones?
I say Zeta.
Zeta-Jones?
I say Zeta. I go full on.
Oh, yeah, you go full in, huh? Zeta.
Yeah.
Okay. Catherine Zeta.
I don't know if that's right, though.
I don't either. James Tupper, who plays Mark, non-existent Mark, and then Judy Greer, who plays Barb, soccer mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there was one thing I had to amend from the trailer trash. I forgot about this thing I had to amend for the trailer trash. I think I called his car an MG. It's not an MG. It's an Alfa Romeo. So.
Is James Tupper the new husband? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah. Mark.
So yeah, you can also correct that because his name's Matt.
Oh, it's Matt. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. And the whole trailer trash, I was like, did you catch his name? You're like, yeah, it's Mark. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's talk about Mark.
Mark, Matt, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But while we're here,
it actually doesn't matter until the very end, which I cannot wait.
No, yeah. Yeah. While we're here in Corrections Corner, Matt, who is in the movie for maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah, this is a segment we don't always like to do, but we're going to do it right now. Corrections Corner. So
yeah, we don't do retractions here. We do.
No, we always move forward.
Yeah, we'll never take down something we publish. We promise you that.
Never, ever, ever.
No shame.
Unless someone pays us a lot of money to do, and then we will absolutely probably.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you want. Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway. There's 2 fixes then from the trailer trash. Whew, thank God. I feel much better now. Man.
Yeah, me too. What a weight.
Yeah, it was hanging on me. And everyone else is like, if they saw the trailer, like, oh no, it's Matt, and it's not an MG.
These dummies will never listen to the full breakdown.
Production budget, box office numbers. I got a whole bunch of numbers for this stuff, but I'm just going to go with the simple stuff. So worldwide, this made $27.8 million,
which is like 7,500 fanatics, which that's pretty significant. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fanatics. Estimated video sales, about 3 million. So overall did about 31 million. Wow. Yeah. It's considered a box office bomb. Production budget. So I got a couple different numbers here. I got 35 million in a couple places for the production budget, but then I got 55 million for just budget. So I think 55 million is probably production plus like marketing and everything else. So
yeah.
At overall, which that sounds about right. If they did 35, 40 million, another 15 million for marketing. That's a lot.
Yeah. And it does sound like a lot.
But well, look at the names they have attached to this movie though, too. So they're probably like,
that's true.
We push all these names. I mean, they show all the actors on the poster, and it's like,
I hope Dennis Quaid got a nice payday for this one.
Of all of them, Dennis Quaid, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like his character, he had the most to lose.
Yeah, he definitely did. So, all right, that's quick info. So, Hollywood pitch. What do you got?
Okay, hear me out here. I'm doing something we've never done before.
Yeah. Okay.
Matching up a movie with a soon-to-be movie.
A soon-to-be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is obviously Greenland meets Greenland Migration, the soon-to-be sequel to Greenland.
Oh, I thought Greenland Migration was actually like a documentary or something about global warming.
Nope. I went two G-Butts movies.
Oh, man.
And one doesn't exist yet. So hear me out here. In Greenland, he's like not the best dad.
I haven't seen it, but I'll take your word for
it. I'm gonna spoil it for you probably.
That's okay.
I mean, the fact that there's a sequel, I think spoils it enough, right?
Again, like this show, it's about the journey. It's not about the end. So
you're right. I appreciate. I'm glad you appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there's a number of scenes where he tries to be a good dad, just like this movie.
Classic.
Stakes are a little bit higher in Greenland, but
every dad tries to be a good dad.
Ain't that the truth? Preach, brother. So yeah, he's trying at least in Greenland, and he's trying in some of this movie also.
It's a good word,
which I appreciate. Yeah, and failing. He does in Greenland and also in this movie.
Yeah,
but ultimately, becomes victorious, saves his son in Greenland.
It's a classic hero's journey. We've all seen it. We've all read about it.
Exactly. And in this movie, you could say saves his son from missing his dad, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, from turning to
Then it turns wishful thinking for me.
Nice.
So I'm doing a movie that doesn't exist yet for another movie that doesn't exist yet and might in a sequel for Playing for Keeps, right? So
what?
So in my imagined sequel for Playing for Keeps, at this point, Jessica Biel has left Matt. He's got his show, Chip and George in the morning or whatever it is. He's got his boy, but it turns into some kind of crazy adventure where they have to leave the safety of their Virginia town and embark on a perilous journey across the decimated wasteland of the Eastern Seaboard to Connecticut to find a new home when he gets that job at ESPN again.
Yeah. In Bristol, Connecticut.
Because just like in the sequel to Greenland, where they have to leave the safety of the Greenland bunker and embark on a perilous journey across the decimated wasteland of Europe to find a new home. So it's this. It'll be the same when they both come out.
And this will be the sequel to Playing for Keeps, which is going to be titled Playing the Number 4 Keeps, where the S is a 2.
Colon migration.
Which is the sequel to Greenland and Playing for Keeps.
Yes.
Kind of like a mashup.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'd pay to see that. This is a tough act to follow here.
No, I don't. All right. You got this.
I'm actually excited by mine because I put some thought ahead of time to it. So
Smart.
I know, sometimes. So I went with It's Liar Liar meets Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
And I see exactly where you're going, but please discuss for the listeners.
Right, so they can hear my inner thoughts. Liar Liar, obviously the father-son, aspect there, trying to win back. He's always failing his son, right? So it's kind of pretty much the same story.
Yeah. Shout out to Thais. That's like one of her top movies.
I mean, Liar Liar it's pretty great. It's a fun one.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Then I went with obviously meets Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, because in Playing for Keeps, I might jump a little ahead. There's a fast fact about there was an original title for this movie that was actually called Playing the Field.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That would have been way better.
Yeah. But pretty much in this movie, Gerard Butler is kind of a male gigolo. And
yes,
definitely.
He
basically gets a job at ESPN because he sleeps with someone.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
No, as soon as I saw that you were gonna say Deuce Bigalow, I was like, damn it. That's spot on. I wanted that one. That's Rob Schneider, right?
Yeah.
I hate Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider classic right there.
Yeah, I don't want him on the podcast.
No, I don't think so either.
G-Butts though, maybe.
Oh yeah, G-Butts in a heartbeat, absolutely.
Yeah, he seems nice enough.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
If you want to be on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll interview him and won't be able to understand him because he'll be speaking in his normal language, not an accent. Yep. That's not going away.
Good.
All right. Fast facts.
Yeah. Fast fact me.
I got to write a song for that. Fast facts. I'll start these, I guess.
Yeah, start them and finish them because you wrote them all. I've got a couple of sneaky ones though in between. I'll sneak in.
All right, so the first two are actually, I think they're directly tied to why this movie is terrible. Well, they're pretty closely, but you never know. Anyways, so the director there, Director Gabriele Muccino, he publicly disowned this movie, citing studio interference and a troubled relationship with Gerard Butler.
Really?
Yeah, which...
Oh, I've got so much more respect for him now. He did not only some of my favorite movies, but also disowned this movie.
Yeah. Maybe we should have him on the show.
Yeah. Gabriele Muccino, if you want to be on the podcast, we won't do Italian accents while you're here.
Promise. Well,
we'll do them after.
We'll edit him in later. We'll edit in all the questions we ask him.
Oh my God.
So directing.
Now he'll never be on the podcast.
Directing Gerard Butler. What did you call him? G-Butts?
He'll never be on the podcast.
Oh boy. Chris Pratt's playing Mario. You and I could do Mario and Luigi. All right. Anyways,
yes.
so
fuck Chris Pratt, dude. I don't want him on the podcast either.
No, absolutely not. So following up to that one, Muccino later blamed the film's muddled focus, which is definitely true. It's kind of all over the place.
Some would say.
Some would say on having 13 producers, quote, each wanting a different movie, and also on bad marketing.
Well, all right. Now I'm kind of out on Muccino. It seems like he's playing the blame game here, like
taking a dig at you there and your career there, huh? Marketing.
Yeah, but come on. Own your shit. You're the director. You can corral the producers here. That's not kind of it's like a little bit of the job, right?
Well, yeah, it's a back and forth, right? Because producers, they're throwing in the money. They want to say with how things are going to go, right? Like,
yeah. But if you're a good director, you can say, look, I got to sell my vision here.
Hey, this is, trust me, or, hey, yeah, I got those notes. Yeah, it sounds good. Right. It's called people relationships, which I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood aren't very good at.
And bad marketing doesn't fix 4%. So
definitely not. No.
I don't know if I want him on the podcast anymore.
Wow. Just like that.
I flipped immediately.
Yep. You flip immediately.
I flip it just like a pizza.
Oh my God. Okay. So there's a scene in the movie where George Schreier is telling a story of his days as a professional soccer player, football player at a party. And the Queen of England, I guess, walks through the locker room or something. And apparently this is a real story from the Spanish soccer player, Carlos Puyol, who met the Queen of Spain after winning the World Championship semifinals coming out of the shower.
Nice.
That's a fun one, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a good, walk into the middle of the story joke to tell I like that. That's a good, nice little callback. That's fun.
Right.
To a real event. Not a callback in the movie, a callback to something that actually happened. I appreciate that.
So this was originally supposed to be a baseball story.
Okay.
Called Confessions of a Little League Coach. Which,
that sounds worse.
Yeah, it sounds much worse. Was later changed to soccer.
Okay.
I'm going to keep going. We got two left here I've got. So
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll do mine at the end.
So the date's not important here, but on July 16, 2012, Film District, who's one of the production companies on here, changed the title. I already kind of mentioned this earlier, but they changed the title from Playing the Field to Playing for Keeps, which
bad job.
I
should have kept it.
I don't know. It's supposed to be a rom-com, I think, for women. Like that's a demographic, right? That they're aiming for?
I don't think there's a target for this one.
It doesn't feel it, right? It's really weird. It's kind of weird. I was like,
romance, but sports, and let's make the dad a piece of shit who does not get his comeuppance.
Yes. And all the women are very generic and completely weak. And,
it's not written for anyone.
No, it's not. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense then.
Let's describe
playing the field. Way better name.
Making sure we describe all the women as attractive soccer moms.
Yeah. Last time we watched Uggos on this movie. Am I right?
And then the last one. What?
Do you think Gabriele Muccino is actually Gabriele D'Annunzio, the father of modern fascism?
I was going to say the bullfighter. I don't.
No. Interesting. Okay. He's kind of a misogynist. I could see
that's a side investigation for you.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
We're in a parking lot. That one.
That guy's been dead for decades, but.
Has he been though?
Right.
And then the last one, I threw this one here just because I actually thought she was the best actress in this movie, but Jessica Biel got nominated at one of the Raspberry Awards for Worst Supporting Actress category.
Yeah, disavow. Her performance was okay.
Yeah. And
I've seen Jessica Biel do worse things.
Have you seen The Tall Man?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't think she was that bad.
That's shocking to me.
Me too.
I'm going to hit you with a couple of randos here. These were discovered as my favorite thing to do for Fast Facts is go look at interviews that the actors do when they're promoting the movies.
Love it.
So 2 real quick ones. So Gerard Butler, not how his name is actually pronounced. Did you know that?
It's Gerard Butler.
Yep. No, you nailed it. No, No, you did great. No, but you're right. Kind of apparently even in if you don't say it with a Scottish accent, he prefers Gerard. It's supposed to be Gerard.
Oh, like Jared. Gerard.
Kind of like Gerard or whatever. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, but everyone just says, he's like, I've started saying it now. He's like, and people are like, that's kind of fucked. Like,
hey,
you started mispronouncing your own name.
Whatever the people say, right?
Are you not entertained? Gerard. Yeah.
So wait, how do you, oh, go ahead.
So yeah, Gerard, I guess, is we prefers. And he says, call me Jerry. So we've been right all along.
We have been.
He said Jerry's fine.
I mean, we prefer G Butts, but Jerry Butts, that works too. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So anyway, had no idea. We've been saying Gerard this whole time. Yeah. And it's actually Gerard. It's incredibly difficult to pronounce. That's why we all say Gerard.
Like, come on, man. Let's just spell it. Let's just say it the way it's spelled.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll stick with Jerry because I can't say Gerard very well.
No.
So then the other, we were talking earlier about how sure I'd love to have Jerry on the podcast. I don't know. Like after reading this other interview with him, I'm not sure anymore. Like now, to be fair, this was an interview 10 years ago, right? Like when this movie came out, 2012.
Yeah, different time, different decade.
Almost 10 years ago. Yeah. And he was like in his early 40s then, prime of his life.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, he's 51 now, as of right today.
Right, this moment.
As we record. But yeah, so he's in his 40s, early 40s in the filming of this movie and the promotion, and he's talking about how he's like, yeah, there's some parallels between this movie and my life, like all these women throwing themselves at you all the time, like some say washed up star, some say he's like just trying to find his way, like trying to balance between having a star career and a family that I want someday. And he's like, this movie like really made me want to have kids. Doing this movie apparently really made him want to have kids. Which was also like,
so yeah, he does need to grow up and be an adult.
Yeah. Now I don't know if he has kids now. Did he have kids in his mid 40s? Do we know?
I have no idea. Don't know. Don't care.
Yeah, me neither. But what a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no such thing as a good interview, I guess, right? Like, don't
Can you imagine if he did have kids and they read that interview and they're like, oh, so Dad, you decided to have me after you made a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes movie.
I mean, I think I'm sure there's more factors than just this movie in that decision. Like,
yeah, I'm sure. For sure. They'd say,
he had that surf accident the year before.
We don't know him.
No.
So
yeah. I'm looking right now. I don't think he has kids.
Okay.
I think he's single.
So it didn't
no kids.
Didn't work out.
Did not work out. Oh,
sorry, Jerry.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's it for my additional fast facts.
All right. There you go. Those were kind of medium pace facts.
Yeah. I guess it did take a while.
That's it. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Our show, our rules, right?
That is what we always say.
Yeah. I almost combined the word show and rules at once there. It was almost like our shrules. Yeah, I was like our shrules.
I like shrules.
Yeah, our shrules. So,
dude,
what?
While we were recording, right now, while we're talking,
yes,
I just get a notification from Google.
Will Smith
says his heart shattered when son Jaden Smith asked about becoming and then it cuts off because I'm not going to click on it. But
it's listening. It's listening to you right now.
Emancipated.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I don't care for this. I'm over Willed.
Yeah, you are over Willed. I'm sorry, man. All right, let's get into the journey here.
Suppose we should start talking about the movie. Yeah.
Okay. Opening credits. Let's do this, right? So we get the two that we saw from Trailer Trash Film District and Millennium Films.
Yeah, but the Film District one's fancy. Like
it's
worked. It's worked into the opening shot.
Yeah, and they've got they got some like announcer kind of a voiceover, right? For like soccer match, you can hear like soccer match going on in the background.
Yeah, great job, Film District. Innovative.
Sound over picture, right? Innovative.
Yep. And then Millennium Falcon. I wish. Yeah, Millennium right. Films.
That zooms in. Spoilers. We did Star Wars. If you made it this far, A New Hope, fuckers. Here we go.
Yeah. No. Millennium Films, unfortunately. And they don't even try. It just like flashes up on the screen with the logo.
Like, don't worry about it. There you go.
Yeah. Good effort, Millennium.
Yeah, we make these kind of movies. Move on. And then there's just like a string of, then we cut to the string of kind of CG soccer clips of George Dreyer.
Which I appreciate that they finished the CGI for the movie. Like the trailer cut is definitely worse.
Yeah.
Significantly worse.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, it definitely is. The first shot they have him was like a little, but it's, they fixed it. It's better. And they do it tastefully enough for you. It's not, you don't see him too much. It's just him doing some, winning goals in 93, 96, 2005, blah, 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 showing off his skills, right? He's known as King George.
Yeah. I feel like a 12-year professional sports career is long, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how long soccer players usually play for.
It's a lot of running.
What I'm saying is, it seems like if he spent 5 minutes and thought about his finances, he probably could have stretched whatever he had made in his 12-year soccer career and last him the rest of his life, right?
But as we know,
like he's on hard times. As we know, like 70% of pro athletes go broke when they retire.
None of them had to go through accounting class because they just had to go practice.
Right.
So
good point. You're right.
Just take one finance class and that's it. If there's only one class you're going to stick around for athletes when you're in college, it's just
personal finance.
Personal finance. That's literally the only class you need to stick around for to understand the basics, and you'll be set for life with 1 year of playing.
Yeah. So I guess this is a realistic movie.
Yes.
Long live King George. So yeah. So then he's got his brutal injury. He's got to stop playing at the ripe old age of 36.
Yep.
And we cut to him from the trailer also in his cheap suit at home on a camera, no pants.
Yep. The Zoom video. Yep.
Creditors calling.
Phone's ringing. He tries to ignore it, but I don't think he realizes that phones keep ringing.
They do.
So
do.
Yeah, phone's going to keep ringing. 2012 too. I mean, we were pretty good. We were pretty well into the cell phone phase. 2012, right?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of landlines in this movie.
Yep.
Voicemail.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's voice messaging, like voicemail machines, voice messaging machines, actually.
Yeah, I guess that's
2012. Definitely not.
Yeah, I guess not. I think I got my first smartphone in 2010 or 11.
It's about when I got mine. 2009, 2010. Still have it in a box somewhere. The iPhone.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I have
It's tiny. It's
Google
like looks like
Nexus, whatever it was.
Looks like a little I don't know thing you skip
neat.
across water.
Cute. Back to the movie. After that, weird, embarrassing scene when he's filming some kind of audition, presumably, we'll find out later. Like he puts on pants and goes outside.
Yes. Basically, it was just letting us know he doesn't have any money. So yeah.
Right. And apparently he owes his landlord a security deposit.
Really hammering it home the next scene. Yes, he runs into his landlord. Yeah, security deposit. I thought it was rent, but whatever, it doesn't matter, right?
No, he argued about it 100 times. He's like, security deposit. And I was like, why doesn't he have a security deposit in this place that he lives at? Like however long later he's lived here.
Which I actually don't think has been too long. I think later on, he's only been in town for 2 months or something like that, I think.
They do clear it up later, but still.
But yeah. And we get a cut to him going into a sports memorabilia shop. Memorabilia shop.
Trying to unload his old soccer shit.
Yep, his cleats, trophies, whatever he can do. And the guy offers him $300.
Which, again, is like, I think he had a pretty successful career.
Yeah, right? I don't think you get the name King George and not have a successful career.
Like, it seems like he's a star and $300 is super low ball.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, but he's not LeBron James. So.
Which the guy had to, if you had some LeBron stuff, it's like, why would he? Why would you, what?
Yeah, and also, like, he's been driving around in this convertible, whatever the car you keep saying it is.
The Alfa Romeo,
Yeah, and like, why doesn't he sell that and get like a Honda Civic, and then he's got rent money for months, probably, right?
Absolutely. Like that car is not like, it's not a $500 car. Like you probably a couple $1,000 for that thing. So
yeah, he didn't take personal finance.
And then we cut to pretty much another shot from the trailer. He's in his little car, cruising around. He's going to pick up his son. Of course, he's running late. And this is where we get introduced to Stacy, Jessica Biel's character.
Yep.
Kind of rushing out the door, picking up his son, throwing the car, blah, blah. I'm going to have him.
She's frustrated.
Yep. She's frustrated. 7 p.m. dinner plans. Bye, mom. Bye, mom. Then we get a quick shot of them in the car ride, right? And he's like trying to kind of make up to his son, right? Like he hasn't been around, I guess. So like they try to establish that he hasn't been around for his son and kind of saying like, oh, you haven't been around.
They're doing all the exposition of like, oh, I just got back 2 months ago. Yeah. Oh, it's like, oh, and I got a room for you too, boy. Like I thought about it, it's been a while since we've seen each other. And he's like, it's more than a couple of weeks. It's been a plethora of weeks. And that's when we get well, we're going to have a plethora of good times today, champ. Huh?
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. So then we get to the soccer field and
apparently the team sucks.
The team is
informed.
Absolutely terrible. The coach is just on the phone. He doesn't care. He doesn't know what he's doing. Right. And he's, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I love the line from the coach. It's not like it's real football. Just kick the ball in the goal. And then they kind of quick cut again to some diner or wherever they're getting lunch.
Yeah.
Mom's stressed out because of the wedding, which apparently is news to George.
Just finds out, well, you've been gone for 6 years, so
squeeze me.
Yeah. He asks his son if he's got a girlfriend, which
is weird. He's 9.
Yeah, he's 9, like 9 or 10, right? So
he's 9. Yeah.
Oh, is he 9? I thought he was 10.
Jessica Biel.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Stacey later says he's 9. Jesus Christ. You can't let a 9-year-old drive a Ferrari.
But you can. Then we're at Stacey's house. And then we briefly meet Matt, not Mark.
Yeah, you wrote Matt too.
Yeah, no, I corrected it for this, but I completely forgot I had said Mark in the trailer. Whatever.
Yeah. It
doesn't matter.
He's not like, this is the only time we see Matt, really.
Yeah, and like the very end, which is fantastic. I can't wait to get there. But
yeah.
So we meet him. He's just Matt. Yeah, hey, I'm Matt.
Yeah, he doesn't have any lines. He's
nope.
Just like, hi.
Oh, hey, guys. It would have been better if he was just like in his PJs walking around or whatever, like a magazine or something. Like, oh, hey, what's going on?
Like he's more of a bum than George is.
Wait, you're the soccer guy, right? Yeah. You want to play FIFA? I got to load it up.
Well, see, then I think the movie would have ended differently because that guy sounds cool.
Right? Matt's
boring. Square. Real square.
Big time square.
So then George dumps off the kid and awkwardly congratulates Stacey, right? He's like, well, here's the child. Like, congratulations on your wedding. I heard about that. And then he gets all mopey and leaves.
And then he's back at his place, his apartment. He's like hanging out at night. And this is what I do, honestly. Like I sit on my couch by myself. I'm drinking some light beers, LITE beers, and I'm just listening to our podcast. I watch our, Zoom video. And I'm just like, man, I could have been something.
Yeah. Did you see that injury?
Yeah. Did you see that injury? That time I hit my head against the microphone. We had to delay recording for like a week.
Yep.
Oh man, I was in my underwear during that episode.
Yeah, just watch himself doing sports.
Yep.
And drinking a very nice product placement, Miller Lite.
Yeah, there's quite a few in this movie. We get quite a few.
With the label towards the camera, yeah.
Yeah, light. And then we cut to the CSA
studio, right?
Studio, yeah. The studio that he was basically so him recording the home video stuff was him recording a demo. Which I think this is where we learned that, right?
Yep.
And he's kind of doing a little, Sorkin walk and talk with his buddy Chip Johnson.
Yeah, but it's not smart.
No. It's dumbed down walk and talk.
Yeah. Well, because Chip is talking about the Swedish twins that they got with apparently one time, and
they weren't twins; they're triplets.
Yep, and they weren't Swedish, and they weren't med students.
So yeah, they had this kind of awkward chat about Swedish Irish women as they're walking around when it comes out.
No, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, it ends there. They're like, okay,
that's it,
and
basically to show that they're bros,
right? And then Chip does his show, right?
Yeah. Well, then Dreyer gives him George there gives him his demo tape. He's like, hey man, check out the demo tape and let me know. And Chip is like, yeah man, I'm actually the sports guy here, so trying to take my job.
Yep.
And then that's kind of like, yeah, okay. So he's got some bit of vision to what he wants to do with his life. Right.
Yep. Well, the other thing here that was like kind of a weird thing for me, speaking of George blowing all his money and not knowing anything about personal finance, like it sounds like he got into other stuff. Like he had a real estate deal in Canada.
Yeah.
Apparently he had a restaurant, a sports bar. And he says, but the economy, it's like literally what he says is the excuse for like what happened. Okay, come on.
I mean, that's a pretty easy way to like, but
economy.
The economy.
No, it means you had a shitty business.
Yeah.
Like, look, I think of the small businesses that'll go out of business because they can't, get what, and you're like, maybe they shouldn't be in business.
Jared, why can't we find sponsors for our show? The economy.
Economy. Yeah.
Economy.
Have you been in this economy lately?
And then he pretty much kind of like begs for a sportscasting job, but we'll get there, right?
Yep.
And then his buddy Chip goes to do his job, and he's up there talking to co-host there. They're co-hosts. They're not other hosts. They don't have. There's no respect there. Like not like respect like we have for each other. Mm-hmm. They're definitely like co-hosts. Ugh. And then he's like, "Oh man, is that his co-host there?" He's like, "Oh, is that George Dreyer, the soccer player?" And then Chip drops the line.
Yeah, back in the day, that man got more ass than a toilet seat. Gross.
That's a 2012 line. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then we pretty much wrote the same thing. George watches longingly or jealously. I don't think is that
jealously? Yes.
I don't know.
Very much so.
Jealously from the sidelines. Nice way to weave the soccer back into it from the sidelines.
Well, right? See, I was doing a sports bit. Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Thanks.
Back at the soccer field, it's practice time. George is watching his kid pretty much suck at playing soccer, and the coach continues to suck.
Yeah, kick it with your toes.
Yeah. And George just like...
He says 100 times, kick it with your toes. Just put your foot into it.
And then George is like, that's it. I'm fed up, has enough. And he just marches on to the field. He gets a ball, shows off his little quick juggling skills, which I think they did another photo swap of his face with someone else there.
Probably, yeah.
I think they did.
They got David Beckham or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's like, you kids want to learn how to score goals?
Yeah.
Obviously they do.
No, we want to learn how to let them in.
Yeah. Come on, George. Come on. Grow up.
And then he starts teaching kids how to kick the ball, and they're getting into it. And he's like, teach them, and they're all having fun.
Don't kick it with your toes.
Yes, that's how you break toes.
Laces, baby. And then magically, the kids become great at soccer immediately.
Yeah, it was instant feedback, instant, outcome there. So you're feeling good, feel good moment though. Connect with the kids. Everyone's having a blast. We're good, right? Mm-hmm. Then we go to drop the son off, Lewis, back at Stacy's house, mom's house.
Yep. By the way, listeners, if this movie sounds boring, it's because it was.
Yes.
it's literally like driving to Jessica Biel's house or
in
soccer practice. It's like the whole movie.
So it's basically like living in the suburbs.
Yeah, yes. Which is fine, but I don't want to watch it.
No, right. You don't want to watch this. So, but yes, just imagine that, back and forth.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, but it's a good thing because, drops off Lewis. We see Matt again, not in his PJs, but still just walking around the house during the day. Like, dude, don't you have a job? Are you supposed to be at work?
No one has a job. Has a job.
What is
Jessica Biel's not at work either. Like,
no. Yeah. What do you do? We know you're not working from home. Like,
yeah. I hope the kid's like making shoes or something.
Yeah. Making soccer shoes.
Yeah, earning his keep.
Making cleats. So then Dreyer and his son have a quick moment, and that's kind of it, I think. And then we head back to
this is when this is, by the way, the first time we learned that the kid's name is Lewis. It's like right
true.
Now.
It is. I wasn't sure when, so I was like, I'm just gonna call him Lewis for the entire time. But
yeah, same. I marked it though because I was like, oh, the boy has a name.
Ah, yes, the boy has a name. So we get a quick cut to him going. We get back quick cut back to Dreyer's apartment, right?
Yep, stat department. Yep.
Yeah, and he's getting he gets a call from Stacy saying like all the parents saw him at the field and want him to coach the team. Right? Yeah, it's kind of
because she's like, you should coach Lewis's team.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Lewis, okay.
Oh yeah, and then he's like, oh yeah, and then she kind of throws it in there, and he's like, oh, I don't know if I got things going on. I was like, you have nothing going on, and he's like, and she's like, maybe you should because you haven't been around for your son for the last 6 years.
Yeah, she's like,
boom.
You've never. She's like, I think she literally says you've never done anything for him.
Yeah, like, which, yeah, like, yeah, hook, line, sinker. Like, yeah, that's not a shot across the bow. That's a shot directly into.
Yeah, brief, intense image.
Yeah, that's a sink. That's a you've sunk my battleship. Which this is what kind of really sucks now is because this whole movie, through the entire movie, she's got like these. She's right on. She's making all the right decisions. She's like the only character making good decisions, saying the right things and calling him out on his shit. And at the fucking very end, it's just like, you know what?
No.
So annoying. So annoying. Robbie Fox. Fuck you.
Yeah. I'm so mad.
It's so garbage. It's such garbage. All right, we're gonna get there. So then we're back at practice because we were at the house. Now we're back at the soccer field.
Yep. And they intro George as the new coach, which is like, boom. Okay. All right. That was quick.
Yep. We had a new assistant coach too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was a weird thing.
We don't know who that is.
Yeah. And then this is when we get our couple of funny lines from the kids, right? From the trailer. Mm-hmm. Like, Coach, I had a sister, but she died. I have a brother though. Should I play with him?
Yes.
Yep. And then there's another thing about like, didn't some Keller kid was like, oh, like my aunt has cancer or something? You're like, wait,
yeah. It was
what? Like,
suburban life sounds terrible, basically.
Yeah. And then my favorite was the last little girl who goes, Coach, my dad sleeps in the maid's room and my mom cries at night.
Like,
and then and everybody laughs. Like all the other kids are like, that's so fucked.
Like, what kind of nightmare suburban life is this? Like,
also, like, do people have maids?
Yeah.
What?
Terrible. Well, they do.
Wild.
Denise has got a maid.
Oh, wait a second. Was that Samantha?
I think it was.
Oh, so it wasn't just a throwaway funny line. It was setting up the premise of the movie. Oh.
So, yeah.
Clever girl.
Clever girl. Yeah, it was because like all the kids are obviously from the soccer moms.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I'm less mad now, but not by much.
Not by much. It's also it's a ruthless thing to fucking throw out there.
Yes. Wait. And yeah, imagine. So, and she said this to George. Yes. So like, he then goes on to sleep with that girl's mom later.
Yes.
Who cries at night because daddy sleeps in the maid's room.
Yes.
Oh my God. This is so fucked.
Yes.
This movie's really messed up, dude.
And we're not even close to halfway through it yet.
No, we haven't even gotten to those parts yet.
Yep. It only gets worse from here, my friend.
Oh no. I totally forgot. Okay. So then this will get introduced to Dennis Quaid.
Who
is apparently Hunter's dad, and he is a dirtbag.
Yep.
Immediate dirtbag.
Like, is he just on coke or what? Like, yes. Also, did we ever find out what Dennis Quaid's his character's name's Carl? Did we ever find out what Carl actually does for a living?
No.
All we know is
makes deals.
He's got producer for the movie.
Yeah. Very, very Trump.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I just make deals of things.
Tons of money.
So Dennis Quaid rolls up and he's like, "Oh, George, you're the new coach, huh? I always donate to the team to fund the team. Here's that envelope of cash. It'd be convenient if my kid played goalie, right? And like if my daughter could sing the national anthem every now and then." And you're like, wait,
yeah,
what? What is this what suburban life is really like?
I don't know.
This is how I grew. I grew up like in a seemingly not too dissimilar town of like, we all had soccer practice and shit. I don't think this kind of thing was going on.
Who knows? You were a kid. We don't know. We don't know what's going on.
I guess you're right.
But Yeah, so gives him a envelope full of cash and is like, yeah.
Which we come to find out later is thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's for like the trophies and whatever, pizza party, kids.
Yeah. But just to let everyone know out there, if you give us an envelope full of money, we will say,
thank you.
Yeah. I was going to say most of anything you'd want us to say, but that's not true. No.
I mean, not no.
Case by case.
Yeah, case by case. But also, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so he's getting a bribe from Dennis Quaid's character, Carl. Carl's definitely scumbaggy kind of vibes and definitely on coke or something and all fired up, amped up. Wants his son to play goalie, wants his daughter to sing the national anthem, which do we unpack about? Were you singing national anthems at little kids' soccer games?
Nope, we didn't unpack that.
Don't think we were doing it then. Don't think we're doing it today.
Too much national anthem.
We don't need any more national anthem, I think, within the lower sport.
I think we should all have less national anthem.
Yeah.
In general.
Yes. Yeah. We don't. Yeah.
It's too much. It's played too much. It's not even a good song.
Just play the fucking sport.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Just do gladiator things, please.
Less anthems, more sports ball.
Yes. I am not entertained. Entertain me.
And then his like closing line as he walks away is, "You get to know me. I'm always looking for something interesting." And I'm like, that's the sketchiest thing you could say to anyone.
Yeah.
You'll get to know me.
And then we get the quick cut from the trailer as well, but this is where the moms are starting to take notice of George, and Denise and Barb are talking. Who's the new coach? And then we get
that sexy guy.
Someone, I don't know who yells in the background. Stacey's ex. He's a soccer player. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Must be Stacey's ex. Yeah.
Like yelling across the field, like, wait, who is that? Mm-hmm. All the ladies like,
Yep. Then we go back to the rental
because they're written that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they're not written with any depth, like any character in this movie.
Yeah, nope.
There is, if you're waiting for character development, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, there's none. There's zero. And then we're back at the apartment,
which is, I kept calling it an apartment the whole time. It's actually like a guest house of his landlord Param's fancy house.
Yeah, fancy.
Which
house.
like he's a really nice house apparently.
Yeah, he does.
And a guest house, which is weird.
Yeah.
Who has a guest house?
Rich people.
Awesome.
Hate to break it to you, man.
Oh man.
Yes.
You can have guest houses?
Yeah. You or I will never have a guest house.
A second house next to your regular house?
Yeah, but it's a little bit smaller.
Wild.
But someone could live in there.
Man.
Yeah. There's even carpet in it.
Oh, yeah. I'm out on carpet, dude.
Yeah. Well, this got carpet to the kitchen, so I wouldn't know if I'd call that a
hate it.
Gross. That's gross. It's disgusting.
Yeah, the guest house sucks.
Yeah.
Like Param really skimped on the guest house.
100% did.
Anyway,
so we're back at the Dreyer guest house here, and or the Param guest house that Dreyer's renting out. We'll just call it the Dreyer home. And he's checking his voicemail messages as one does in the recording.
He's got like a million messages about shitty kids and that are constipated and have ADD. And
yeah, it's all the moms calling in, leaving messages.
Yeah, my kid took a shot to the testicles last year. I'd appreciate it if you keep him away from the ball.
Jesus, get over it.
To the soccer game, right? The next
we're back at the soccer field because this is it, right?
Yeah. Well, this time it's a game at least. It's not just practice.
True.
Huge. And this is when we meet Billy's mom, Barb.
Yeah.
Who is neurotic, to say the least.
Judy Greer, who is just stereotypical, I think,
It's like a very Judy Greer role. Like, I love Judy Greer.
I do too.
And I feel like she's very typecast as a specific character.
And this is it.
This is the same character, right?
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. Anyway, so she comes in, she's got this super awkward approach, and she's clearly kind of a little fumbling. She's maybe a little nervous talking to the, Jerry Butts ex big soccer star, coach of the team now. Yeah. And she starts kind of just dropping out like details of her marriage and then her divorce, right? Yeah, the divorce, which is important. And she's asking how her kid's doing, and then she just starts crying. Yeah.
Well, George is like, I could offer Billy some extra help. He's like struggling with soccer, which I'm like, what? Like the whole time, this whole movie treats George coaching the soccer team like it's a job.
Yes,
like,
it's
dude.
not. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So and then she starts bawling, and George is like, "Yikes!
Yikes! Emotions." And then
he leaves, right?
Yeah, and then we cut to what looks like Avril Lavigne singing the national anthem.
Oh yeah, but horrible instead of Avril Lavigne, who is
I actually thought it looks so much like Avril Lavigne. I was like, is this might be her just doing like a little cameo thing here, right? I was looking it up.
Did you look it up?
I did. It's not her, but it looks a lot like her, and it is not good because I thought that would have been funny. Oh, Avril Lavigne singing poorly the national anthem. That's funny, but no. It's not good, and we get shots of Carl, Dennis Quaid, the rest of the moms, Uma Thurman. They're all kind of like, ooh.
Go Cyclones!
Yeah, go Cyclones. Also, why would George Dreyer, as coach of the Cyclones, why would he have control over who sings the national anthem?
I feel like that's something that you outsource to the coaches. When you're when you're, I feel like if you're a soccer
home
league,
game,
a rec league. You're like, oh yeah, you know somebody that wants to sing.
Yeah, home game. Okay, yeah, but we don't.
But
we're not doing national anthems.
No, never, never. I played a lot of rec soccer in my day. I don't know about you, but I did rec soccer for probably like 10, 12 years.
Yeah,
never once had a national anthem.
Not for just like a regular season game. At 10 years old,
not even for a championship game.
No, I mean, 10 years old, not even.
Yeah, I guess if you're in like a fancy league, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
A league of their own.
Yeah, if you're like the Little League World Series or something like that, sure. But come on. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
And then is where we get the old wanker speech, which...
Yeah, we're talking about wankers a lot already. George is making, talking about the team, being a bunch of wankers. Rubs off on the kids.
Opposing team, they're all fired up though. He's giving, which is definitely not a go-okay speech for kids. I mean, he's basically using a swear word across the pond to describe the opposing team. He might as well call them like a bunch of fuckers, I think.
Yeah, and now the kids are bought in.
I did a little homework on.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a little wanker Google search. The first search didn't go as well as I planned. Then I kind of refined it.
Okay.
To be more
equivalent to fuckers.
Yeah, well, so wanker is like it's like I think like their third or fourth like worst word you can say over there, like on TV, and it's kind of like equivalent to like shit or maybe a couple of those words here where you can't say it before like 10 o'clock. Like after 10 o'clock you can say a type of thing. But it is worse than I think. It is a worse word over there than we think it is though. So like me saying that I don't think it's still pretty bad thing to say.
Right. Like saying like if you like went over your mom had a British friend maybe and you were over her house and you're like, bloody wankers, like she'd be offended and keel over. Okay.
Yeah. If she pulled out, fish and chips, you're like, what fucking wanker made this meal? That would probably not go well.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine why that would go over poorly.
Right? Like that's not a way to use that. So
yeah, it seems normal to me.
I'm fine with saying it, but either way, little kids, 9, 10 years old, should not be screaming this on a field, but they're all fired up. It's all fine. Whatever.
And when they do, it's the funniest thing to happen in this movie, I think. In general.
Yeah, actually, it definitely is. Like having a little kid just scream, "Let's get these wankers," is funny.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Hilarious with a capital H.
Yeah, objectively good.
So the game starts and we got some extra moms who we don't meet. It's just 3 of them off to the side chatting about the coach and how all the kids have been talking about how much they love coach and like.
Yeah, I caught Brian's practicing a Scottish accent in the mirror this morning. You're like, these moms are too horny. Yeah. This is not that kind of movie, ladies.
I practice a Scottish accent in the mirror every morning too. So whatever. What?
Oh, you didn't mean it. You didn't mean it like the women do.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Gotcha.
Either way, Jerry Butts is dreamy. And then we get this is like all right, then we cut to Dennis Quaid, Carl, and Uma Thurman Patty, I think. And I was like, I was confused. I guess they're married. And it's a pretty awkward conversation they're having, right?
Yeah, it's not great.
At first I was like, oh man, are they swingers maybe? Are they looking to bring Dreyer into like a little? No, it's not that.
They're jealous, right?
Yeah. So basically Carl starts, poking his wife. He's egging his wife on.
He's trying to entrapment her.
Yeah, basically, because he's a scumbag. And he's basically saying like, oh, you think Dreyer, he's good looking too, isn't he? Right? Kind of put her on the spot and like.
Sexy guy, right? And then Stacy gives him some, so like the game's over.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Who cares what happened?
Yeah,
Stacy gives George some supplies to take his son for the weekend. And then as he's driving away with the boy, this is when we get Denise, introduced to Denise for the first time, right? So she introduced herself. I'm Denise, Samantha's mom, rolls up in her convertible separately. Lewis looks bored as fuck. And apparently Denise was a sportscaster at some point, which George is stoked about.
Of course. I mean, and there was a big, flirtation back and forth. Don't I know you from somewhere? I don't know. Do you? I don't know. I remember you if I remembered you. Do you remember me? But I would remember you if you remembered me. It's like, come on, shut up.
Gross.
But yeah, she was a former sportscaster, and funny enough, guess what George's trying to do?
Be a sportscaster, right? And then he just goes, okay, well, bye.
Beep beep.
See you later.
Alpha Romeo. Beep beep. Then we're back at the Dreyer house. Dreyer's showing his kid around the apartment. Hey, check it out. It's pretty cool. Shows him his room. Kid's walking around, kind of sizing the place up, being like, it's not bad. Showing around the room, and then there's a photo up in the bedroom of the family shot when Lewis is a little dude. And he's like, is that me? No, kid, it's my other son. Oops, wrong picture.
Yeah. That's your dead brother. like that other girl who had a dead brother or whatever. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, oh my God. And then we cut to them hanging out on the couch, PJs, watching.
The important takeaway from there was Lewis doesn't remember any of the family vacations they took when they were like, as far as he knows, dad's a stranger, right?
Yes.
That's the takeaway. It's like,
which it's true. It's important.
Remember we did all those fun things when you were little? And he's like, nope.
I was less than 4, you moron. Oh, right. Yeah. I've been gone for 6 years, haven't I?
I'm a bad dad. Right.
So then they're on the couch hanging out, watching some gory monster movie. It was a campy movie. I was like,
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we could figure out what it was, but
I couldn't.
Yeah, I didn't put enough digging into it.
It looked almost like what's the one that I did for the last one for Breach?
Deadly Spawn.
It almost looked kind of like that, didn't it?
It looked like this. I've never seen Deadly Spawn, but I dug it up after you said it, and I was like, oh,
it looks like that. Yeah.
Same production value.
Yeah.
At first, I thought like the woman that was in the bed when she sat up a bit, I was like, is that Jessica Biel? I was like, that would have been a fun little, but very weird, and it would have confused everyone. But I was like, what is going on? So they're watching this campy horror movie. And he puts the kid to bed, and then he's like, all right, good night, buddy. And as he closes the door, he's like, don't dream of scary monsters.
Which, ruthless, right? Like, that's what I say to people when I want to be mean to them.
Yes.
Like, oh, good night. Don't dream about the awful thing that you have to do the next day.
Yeah, don't dream. And then George is in his bed, hanging out, checking his fancy email. I'm not sure what kind of email client this is, but it's email in italicized word art paint thing. And he gets a note from Denise being like, still up.
Classic.
Thinking of you, coach.
Classic booty call, right?
Yeah, nothing like an email booty call.
I mean, it's 2012.
Right?
You saying people didn't do that in 2012?
I mean, you can send an email whenever you want, but as far as I know how the technology works, but
you're right.
But there's certain things that you.
Well, it was in reply to an email he had just sent.
Oh yeah, sure, but
so to be fair to Denise. He sends an email to the whole soccer team parents, and then she replies quickly with still up. And he was like, nope, he didn't reply. Like a loser, he did not reply.
So then Lewis comes, running into George's room and was like, "Oh, I can't sleep." He wakes up.
I had a scary dream.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Surprise.
Not the right movies to be watching. At least tell your kid, by the way, this isn't real. It's all fake. But whatever. Yeah.
But I also love how his dream has nothing to do with the monsters. He's like, I was playing soccer and I had no feet.
That's fucking terrifying.
What? And then I love the response from George. He's like, we're just a couple of manly men. We can handle this. We can do this without mom, right? And he's like, no, I need mom. I want to go home. It's like, oh, this turned bleak.
Yeah, epic dad fail.
We're a couple of manly men.
Come on, we can get through this.
Yeah. Like, why does he feel the need to sound like a pirate? Arr!
It's the accent.
Just a couple of blokes.
It's the accent.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, so then he drops his scaredy cat kid off back at home. Fine. Yeah. Go back to your mom, scaredy cat.
Idiot kid.
Yeah. Soccer
feet aren't real.
Yeah. And then we have a quick moment between George and Stacy and kind of a little moment, a little so frazzled. Yeah. And he's like, George's like, how'd you get so much more grown up than me?
She's
and
like, someone had to be.
Yet again, Stacy, Jessica Biel dropping the hammer, being like, yeah, someone had to.
Yeah. Ruthless. He seems like a piece of shit, right? I get it. I'm Team Stacy. I'm 100% Team Stacy.
100% until the end. Then I'm Team Matt.
I'm Team Denise, I think, at the end.
I would go, I think Team.
Yeah, I'm Team Denise after all this.
I think I'm either Team Matt or Team Param, the landlord.
Ooh, actually, yeah, I'm Team Param too. Yeah, that guy rips.
Yeah. Okay. So
I forgot what happens to him.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Guess where we are next?
Soccer?
Oh, you know it. Practice, not a game.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking practice, not a game.
Okay. Oh, right. This is when Carl invites George to his big party, which sounds like it might be a key party. I don't know. Just the way he's talking about it, I'm like, I don't trust Carl for a second.
I was like, is this a proposition to sleep with his wife? Is this a swingers party? Is this a what is going on? What's happening here type of invite conversation?
All of the above.
And given the conversation we had earlier, I was like, I think this is it. This is the moment, right?
Yeah. And he's like, oh no, I got a bunch of Brazilian guys coming over for a deal. They would love to see a soccer player.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
What? It's like, this feels racist. Yeah. Sure.
I mean, Brazilians do love their soccer. I mean,
sure. No, of course. Yeah.
Like Americans love their football. Like Americans love their baseball, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah. If you're like, oh, Joe Namath's going to come over I'm like, well, okay.
So then we have this moment with Carl, and then we get Barb approaches again with another awkward appearance.
Yes, Judy Greer saved the movie, I think.
She did, but I feel so bad for her character because it's just like,
yes, it's pathetic.
And that's it's gross. Robbie Fox, come on, man, come on. Yeah,
reminds me of Stranger Things. Barb, also kind of pathetic. Met an untimely demise.
Yeah, that was a sad death. She cries again, and she apologizes or thanks him for dealing with his meltdown, which is like,
yep.
What?
And then melts down immediately. And then Denise is here. George is literally just making the rounds,
just cranking. He's this is him literally walking from the parking lot to the fucking practice field.
Yeah, and Denise is like, "I'm a night owl too." Woohoo! Which I almost used as the quote for.
It's pretty good. But then she drops the old. We got a common friend here. Good old Chip, Good old Chip Johnston.
Love Chip.
Chip Johnson. Guy. That's a classic sportscaster name right there.
So she knows Chip and she is flirting hard.
Yeah.
But also offering to help George's career.
Absolutely.
Which, nice. And then like that scene's over then too, right?
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, let's go play soccer.
So we went from getting invited to a potential swingers party with a bunch of Brazilians to having a crying mom thank him for being around for her crying, and then to Denise saying, "I have a career opportunity for you." It's not a bad walk. That's not a bad walk from car to practice.
No.
And then we get the scene from the trailer, and this is where I guess practice is over at this point, and we get Dennis Quaid full coked up here, Carl, coked Carl, and he's like, $20. I got $20.
I got a stack of 20s here. Doesn't anybody want one?
You're at a kids soccer practice. What is going on right now?
I got a stack of 20s.
Carl, you're at like a 20. We need you down to like a 2.
By the way, after like your novel takes off and the podcast and everything, I expect someday at my kids' soccer practice for you to like show up and be like, I got a stack of 20s here, kids.
Oh, you kidding me? Absolutely.
Who wants one?
I'll be wearing a pair of aviators and some obnoxious leather jacket and be like, who wants some 20s?
Kick that Gatorade bottle off the goalpost and then...
Hey, kid, you look tall enough. Here's $20. Hey, kid, you look too short. Here's $20 to get taller.
Yeah, put it towards your surgery. Anyway,
I can't wait till that happens. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. So, stack of 20s, Dennis Quaid. Carl's all fired up, and then if George is like, reluctantly doing the old,
I guess I was a pro soccer player.
I guess I was. And then he's like shows off. So we get all the moms, we got all the entire crew of moms, we got all the kids, and he does a little did he do like a behind the leg kick move? Did you catch that?
Yeah. Oh, it was flashy.
It was flashy, and he did a little I don't even know. Poof, and he just kicks in, nails the crossbar. Boom. Everyone's like,
which awesome. Yeah.
Moms are flashing them. The kids are going crazy.
Yeah. Anyone can hit a crossbar though.
I mean, come on. Yeah. But can you hit a Gatorade bottle off the crossbar? So we get the red Gatorade bottle. Yeah. I mean, if you watch the trailer, yes, he can. if you listen to Trailer Trash, yeah, he nails it and makes a quick hundo from Carl, his best buddy now.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I actually, Carl turns out to be a real piece of shit, but at this point, I'm team Carl.
And I feel like George should just go around to various soccer fields, just putting on bets, being like, "You think I kicked the Gatorade bottle off the crossbar?" and just like hustling people.
Yeah, yeah.
He like misses one. He's like, "Oh, 200 says I can hit both of them at the same time."
But
better movie,
way better movie. And speaking of like a shitty movie full of white people, like why isn't there no? I'm really good at failing up quote, because that's basically George's whole premise here, right? Like everywhere he goes, he sucks. George is awful.
Yes.
And everywhere he goes, somebody's looking to fuck him or give him a job or like bet him something stupid or like invite him to a party or like
or make him look awesome because he used to be King George.
Yeah. Like his life is amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey man, that's the true hero's journey. That's how it works.
Failing up. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Not at all.
It's so frustrating.
It's super frustrating. This is I think I mentioned this before we started this. Like this movie feels like a wishful think. What did I say? Wishful thinking. Like
it was like some divorced dad's like
middle-aged,
like some middle-aged divorced dad's wet dream.
Yes, right. Like that's what this movie is.
Yeah. It's like, I wish I could see my son more and also get laid all the time by soccer moms and also
attractive soccer moms, please.
Drive a convertible and have a rich scumbag friend
who just gives me money for kicking Gatorade bottles off from crossbars.
Yeah.
And then just gives me a Ferrari, which I think is mine, but I think he's blending it to him. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Just for a couple weeks.
Oh, that's what it was? Okay. I forgot afterwards. Oh my God. What a garbage movie. Have we hit the halfway point? We haven't. Okay, we're moving on.
No, yeah. So we skipped to the party now. Thankfully, the movie, it seems like it's just been day in, day out. We go to Stacy's house. We go to the soccer field. We go to George's rented house. We go to the soccer field. We go back to Stacy's house. Whatever. Anyway,
so we show up at the Carl's house here, which is dope.
Jump right into that classic joke.
Yep.
I was standing stark naked in front of Queen Elizabeth and I'm apologizing. And she says, "Oh, not at all, young man."
Like,
what gives a shit?
Yeah.
Not interested.
Oh boy. And then at this point I was like, Dennis Quaid's crazy, right?
Yes.
I was like outside, I was like, he's crazy. At this point, he's a crazy person in this movie. I think maybe in real life, but I'd still hang out. I don't know. Did you find anything else? He's not bad.
Oh,
right?
yeah, he's like kind of bad. But not as bad as Randy. You're right.
Oh yeah.
He's like like Dennis has only said a couple of times, he's like, oh yeah, no, I think Trump's doing a good job with the pandemic and things like that, which you're like, okay. You suck, but sure. And Randy's full bore.
Is there a line between bad and stupid?
Yes. Yes. No, there is. You're right.
So like, that's just stupid.
I think he's just stupid. He's just stupid.
That's fine.
Right.
I'd still hang out with him though. I think, right? That's okay.
I think so.
Okay. Would we have him on?
I don't know if I want a platform. Well, Dennis, sure. Yeah. Dennis, I guess. I don't know. He's like a real Christian guy too.
That's what I'm fine. Saying. Yeah. I mean,
we're cool with that. Yeah.
Totally fine with
that.
We're
not an anti-religion podcast. We're just not big into it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if the church wants to sponsor us, send us an email.
Hell yeah. I'll say something positive. Any church, really.
We say positive things all the time.
Yes. That's what I've been saying. Dennis Quaid, he's a top amateur golfer. I also discovered that. Yeah, and he's a musician as well.
Yeah, the Quaid brothers. They toured for a while, I think, in Japan.
Big cocaine guy, but that's cool. I think. In the 60s and the 70s, everybody was doing cocaine, right?
Being a Christian brings a little cocaine with the party,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
All right, so here we are at Carl's party.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, sorry. Last thing about
breaking news. This just in.
Yeah, this just in. Last thing about Dennis Quaid. Apparently, he did an interview with Fauci for defeating COVID. So,
yeah.
All right, I'm back in on Dennis Quaid.
We're in.
Yeah, he said Ronald Reagan's his favorite president, but
I mean,
I forgive him for that.
Yeah,
I think
that was so many years ago. There's no decision.
There are way worse presidents since then.
There's no decisions that man made that are impacting us now. It's fine.
Ronald Reagan? Oh, yeah. No, you're right. That's nothing. Yeah, no, you're right. Nothing's ever come. Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's no decision a president makes that impacts the future in any way.
I don't think that's ever trickled down to any of us.
Should I be more clear with my sarcasm there?
No.
Okay.
Should I state
that that's a sarcastic statement?
Nope. At least we don't have AIDS.
And that war on drugs, he started that, right? Or was
Just say no. No, that was more a Nixon thing.
Oh, was it? It was before it? Oh, shit. I thought it was Reagan. Oh, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're moving on. It's all about Reagan economics.
Dennis Quaid is okay. Dennis Quaid is no worse than like my parents. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, if you ever listen to the podcast.
They won't make it this far.
Yeah, the one episode listens. She knows.
Yeah, the one episode they pick, and they're like, you know what, this is a little bit long. Let's just skip to halfway through, honey.
Yeah, I heard something about Randy Quaid.
All right, so here we are, Dennis Quaid's party, Carl's party, and then so he's talking with George here, and he's talking about and interject with anything I miss here, but he's pretty much like, hey, yeah, what's going on, blah blah, and then I
trust you so much.
Yeah, it's like, why? What? And then he's like, then he tells him about how he's sleeping with some rando at the party, and he's looking at these two women, and one woman's looking their direction. He's like, I'll give you a hint. It's not the one that's looking at you right now. It's like,
it's not the blonde one. That's
it's like,
oh, your wife. You mean it's not your wife? Okay,
yes, gotcha. It's not your wife. And I was like, great.
What a scumbag. That's like the scummiest way you could do that too.
Yeah.
But good writing, Robbie Fox.
Crushing it.
Yeah, there's one thing it's not how to write women, it's how to be a scumbag.
Yes. Well, I mean, at least he's writing men kind of in their stereotype too, for the most part, being kind of scummy. So hey, he's covered that. So
yes, for sure. Just
both ends of anyways. And then we again, stop me if I skip ahead here, but then we're just outside and he's giving him a Ferrari.
Well, you skip the part where Denise comes over and not Denise.
No, Uma Thurman there. Patty.
Yeah, sorry, thank you.
I think her name's Patty. Yeah.
Yep, it's Patty. Patty is like, oh, I just want to know which woman my husband's sleeping with. Like, this is another time where George takes a moment to not be a hero. like we're talking about George, a piece of shit. Also, like he's probably the second scummiest person in this movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't even help this situation because he knows that it's the other woman. He knows exactly who it is, and she's like, oh, like I really want to know. Like I know that he always invites women that he sleeps with to these parties. Like it makes me something about it makes me feel empowered knowing at least who it is.
Kind of an awkward spot to be put in there, right?
Super awkward. Yeah. But you're like you've come this far. You're already a dirtbag enough to be here, right?
Yeah.
George is a shitty person. Yeah.
Yeah. But
he's trying to get better. He's trying to not be shitty. Yeah. So then that's when they go outside and Dennis Quaid's like, yeah. Oh, you like my Ferrari? Sit in it. And George is like, really? Can I sit in it? And he's like, yeah. Here, go sit in it. And he's like,
hey, man.
Yeah, keep it for the week. Like bring it to soccer practice and I'll trade you.
Like how is George also acting like a child in these moments? It's like, dude, you're a professional athlete for what, 12, 13 years it was, we figured out, till you're 36 years old.
Yes. And we know that from later that he's like rented Ferraris and like done crazy shit and whatever. Like, yeah, come on. Like do better, George.
So he upgrades his Italian ride from an Alfa Romeo to a Ferrari.
Yep. Drives off.
I wonder if our Italian director had anything to say with he's like, I want an Alfa Romeo.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I want a Ferrari.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If there's one thing Italians know, it's promoting other Italian things. I get that. I thought you were
going to say sports cars. Like, no, just promoting other Italians.
Yeah. No, dude. Have you ever had those?
It's called the mafia.
You ever had those Mazzetta sweet cherry peppers in the jar?
You take care of me. I take care of you.
Yeah. Oh man, Mazzetta. They have like a whole big line actually of jarred and pickled products that I think you'd really like as a pickle man. I know you're a big pickle boy.
Don't bring that up right now. This whole episode would get sidetracked, derailed on my anger over pickles.
I was doing half a Italian promotion thing, half a picking on Russ thing. I couldn't resist. You could see, right?
Yeah. Man, now you got me all fired up. Think about eating a fucking pickle. I hate forced pickles. Don't put the pickle on the plate. I didn't order a pickle. I ordered the sandwich and the fries, not a pickle.
Pickles are a delight. Yeah, listeners, how do you feel about pickles? There's probably a couple other pickle haters out there. Do you sympathize with Russ, or are you like me and a lover of anything pickled?
Oh, I know plenty of pickle haters that are friends of mine. That's why we're friends. You got to band them. You got to band.
They listen to the show?
No.
Well, then they don't count.
Damn it.
We're talking to the listeners who I think love pickles, right? Let us know.
No. All right. So then we're back at someone's home. Stacy's home. And this is a mistake that most people, this is a PSA for everyone out there. After you've had a couple drinks at your coked out, cheating rich husband's friend's house who lends you his Ferrari. First step, don't drive to your ex's house.
Yeah.
That's a bad
idea. If it's about midnight. Yeah, it's like around midnight. Also, don't do that.
Yeah, where your son lives and he's 9-10 years old and needs regular sleep. Don't do that. But even in general, that's not a good idea. Just take the car. Actually, no. If you had to go,
don't drive.
Don't drive.
Don't drive. Right.
No, get an Uber home. But anyway, so he decides to pull a Ferrari up to the car to the Stacy's house.
There's an hour and 10 minutes left of the movie, by the way.
Oh my God.
As of right this point.
Jesus Christ. How long have we been doing this for? We were on track, but now we're not even close.
I know. We're like 35 minutes into the movie right
Jesus
now.
Christ. Okay. So he pulls up to Stacy's house and he gets out of the car and the car alarm starts going off and it's like he doesn't know how to turn it off. It's a classic kind of slapsticky comedy thing. Like, oh man, what's going on? The car alarm's going off in this fancy. What do I do? I'm just
it's usually funny, but it's not anymore.
Not at all. And it's annoying. And Matt opens the window, husband Matt, not Mark. He opens the window and he's like, hey, basically like, hey, what the fuck you doing? Which he's like, it's after midnight, and these are completely fair statements, right? Like,
yep.
And then George is like, I want to talk to Stacy.
It's about Lewis.
Yeah. Bring Stacy out. It's about Lewis. Oh, you can't drop the kid, man. Of course he's got to be like, okay.
Well, no, I still think no. Like somehow Matt agrees to this. He's like, all right, hold on. No, you can't, like, because it's not like the kid is at his house or anything. Like the kid's there, like he knows he's
safe.
Safe. Yeah.
No. I agree, but I'm saying that you can't. Okay. He can't just drop that card, but he's dropping that card to be like, that yellow card to be like, yo, it's about Lewis. He's like, Lewis is fine, dude. Get back in your Ferrari. Why don't you Ferrari out of here? Home. Yeah. Go home. Go to bed. Sleep it off. Yeah. We can talk in the morning, like literally 7 hours from now.
Ugh. Disgusting.
Gross. So Stacy comes out. She's a little angry. She's a little like, which obviously so.
But she's not that angry. That's the part of the problem.
Yeah, it's true. She's not. It's true. She's been the most like logical character through this entire movie up until, I mean, even at this point, she's still fine because she's like, hey, go home. But yeah, she's like, what's going on? And he's like,
you remember Ferraris? Remember how we used to get Ferraris? And she's like,
you think things could have worked out if I didn't screw it up? And his heavy, normal accent.
I hate when he goes, you like it? I was like, she's like, is that a Ferrari over there? And he's like, yeah, you like it? And she goes, yes. Damn it. Like, damn it, Stacey, you're giving up all your power here.
But I mean, I also kind of liked it because she was like, yeah, of course I do. What's your fucking point now?
Yeah, but I don't think she meant it that way.
I wish if she should have said that, but I mean, but I like that she was like, yeah.
Instead, she meant it like, yeah, go on.
No, I don't know.
Seduce me.
No, stop it. You're a crazy person. All right, so yeah, sure. And she's like, yeah, backstory about good times and how they met and blah blah blah.
Matt's like, everything okay out there?
Yeah. Matt, you're like a piece of fucking.
And she goes, this part was the worst. Sorry. What were you going to say about Matt? That's bad.
No, nothing. I was trying to think of some thing.
Well, take a second while I'm describing what happens next, because it's horrible. Because Matt comes out, asks if everything's okay. George convinces Stacy to lie. And this is what I was saying earlier, but like, she's not being but she's being like, yeah, I like the Ferrari. Yeah, I'm letting myself fall into the George trap again, because she lies to her fiance. Then George is like, oh, just tell him, I'm concerned that Lewis has a learning disability. You're like, wait, that's pretty fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and she goes, okay. Like,
it is.
What?
That's a pretty terrible adult decision making right there. That's actually
horrible.
Yeah, so he's not an adult because adults don't come up with shit like that. Well, real adults, I don't think, come up with that sort of stuff. They're like,
no, take a little responsibility or be in a yeah. So frustrating.
I'm drunk. I'm driving a Ferrari. I want to see my ex. And then Matt is like a piece of driftwood, just fucking like, okay, blah.
Everything okay out there?
Everything okay out there? Matt, grow up and get out there and be like, dude, get in your Ferrari and get the fuck off my property, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. You're no longer the king, okay? You're a
King
serf.
George is dead.
King George is dead. You're a serf. This is my property now, right?
Nice. Yeah.
You owe me taxes. Get out of here.
Right. Instead, Matt sucks.
Yep. Actually, now Matt's going to get what he deserves at the end, isn't he? Fuck you.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes. We hate Matt. That's what you said. You're team Matt. I don't really buy it.
I'm not now. Now I think about it. I
think you're team Denise, like me.
I think I am too. Catherine
or
Zeta?
Team Chip. Maybe. We're Team Prom. We decided. I forgot.
Yeah. Team Prom. I think that's where we're going down to. Team Prom. Yeah.
I forgot. We decided.
Yeah. All right. So then,
he gets back to his apartment and fucking Barb is there. Like, what a nightmare.
Man. Oh boy, hijinks.
I mean, yeah, sorry. Guest house, not apartment.
Back to his guest house. Barb is there and like, man, could this night go worse?
Yeah. And
here's Barb who just invites herself in. It was like, you can invite me for a drink? Yeah, she's failing. Yeah, she's failing up.
Yeah, well, her. Oh, sorry, what'd you say? I thought I heard you invite me in for a drink. And he's like, nope. And she's like, about that drink though, huh?
Come on in. this whole this whole scene was so it's pretty cringe, I think, worthy, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So and then
this is also what made me not Team Param.
Yeah. So, but he sees a Ferrari and he sees Barb and he's like creeping through the windows, being like, "What?
Yeah,
the fuck is going on out there?"
Makes me a little anti-Param. Yeah, he's doing too much creeping, but
a little bit. But I mean, it's a quiet neighborhood, and this guy's driving around at 1 o'clock in the morning in a Ferrari, pulling in attractive soccer moms coming up to his guest house.
Sure,
you want to know what the hell's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. So then Barb, Barb's inside, and she's flirting hard.
Yeah.
George, to his credit, is not really falling for it yet, and
he's playing hard to get.
He's playing hard to get, right? And I love like Judy Greer delivering these lines is great, right? She's like, "I'm no Penelope Cruz, but like guys could do worse than me, right?"
And talk about like no offense, Penelope Cruz, but what a kind of dated reference. Like,
I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, Penelope Cruz is great, but I was like, oh, wow. I was like, Penelope Cruz, like, wait, when did this movie come out? I was like, 2012, right?
But I mean, even still.
And then she breaks the news that she started dating again since her divorce, right? And then she's like, hey, would you take a look at my dating profile, which is on the old Match.com?
Oh, yeah. Been there.
Yeah. And they're sitting down. No, I was like, you haven't been there. She's like, hey, would you look at my profile or something like that? And he's like, hey, I think you're you're attractive woman, blah, blah. But
yeah, are you going to do your Scottish accent for her?
No, I don't think I can do it right now. I think that'd be rude. But then he's like, you're an attractive woman.
You're an attractive woman, Barb.
But if you had a little more confidence in yourself. Which, coming with that is, I mean, his accent's a little bit softer than that. It's a little more like not understandable.
It's not quite fat bastard, but
he literally says, yeah, but if you had a little more confidence in yourself.
Ruthless. And justifiably, she's like, oh, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for half a beer.
She leaves.
And then she comes back and has sex with him.
Yep. So, boom. Win. For someone.
And then Param is still watching through the window creepily and goes, son of a bitch.
I don't think I'm a fan of anyone now at the end of this movie.
No, me neither. I'm still Team Denise. She's a garbage person, but at least she's funny.
All right. So then that happens.
Yep. It's the next morning now, right?
Next morning, we get the classic,
Thankfully, Barb's gone.
The classic one night stand note. Thanks for breaking my streak. XOXO Barb.
That was Slump.
Oh, Slump. Yeah.
Still gross. Even grosser, maybe.
Yeah, I think Slump is a weird one to write. I think I don't think you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really what wakes him up is a phone call from Dennis Quaid.
Because, I mean.
He's like, and Carl goes, hey, guy, I need 10 grand for bail. Do you have cash? He's like, no, of course not.
I'm not rich like you moron. Like, you know what I do. I coach a kids soccer team.
Yeah, which apparently is a job.
Yeah. Where
he only gets paid bribes for.
Yes. $1,000 or whatever it was. So George's like, I'm supposed to go to a soccer game with my son. It's 2 hours away. And then he's like, oh, hey, man, just do it. I can't. This is so confusing. So he did, like, sorry if you mentioned this. Did Carl say he couldn't ask Patty to do this? Like, why couldn't his wife
No, he said it was fine. He was, he didn't say why Patty couldn't. He just said,
why couldn't she
go to the house and get the money from Patty? I don't think he trusts Patty to bail him out.
That's fair.
He was like assaulted a person because of Patty. I feel like he's like, oh, Patty's probably in a bad state right now. I need one of the guys to come bail me out. Yeah.
So that makes sense, I guess, kind of. It's more of just
to get mad. Yeah.
It's more of to get the interaction between George and Patty. That's all this whole thing is manufactured for a George Patty combo, right?
Yes.
Like, there's no way Carl has to have a better friend than this guy he barely knows to be like, hey,
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
What, Carl doesn't have like a Randy Quaid to be like, hey, bro.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Randy to his Dennis.
No, because Randy would take the 10 grand and disappear, and that'd be it.
Of course, yeah.
Which makes sense. So George goes to Carl's home, stops by. Patty is there, Uma Thurman, and he's like, "Hey, I need the bail money, whatever."
She's like, "You want a drink?" And he's like, no, I'm trying to get bail money.
Yeah, and she's basically just throwing herself at him, basically, yes. Right? He's like, I just need to get the bail money. I need to get out of here, right? And then he finally gets it, and then we're at the jail, right?
Yep.
And then we get the phone call.
The brief, intense image, I think.
Yeah, this might be it. Jail. I mean, it's intense. It could be intense. I've never been. So I don't know. And then we get the phone call from the dreaded phone call, which is basically I'm going to fail you, son. But, you don't say that. But we all know, okay, he's going to fail him anyways. And he's like, I'm going to be late to the, pick you up for the game, blah, blah. And his son's all bummed down. He's like, oh, man. Yeah. Basically letting down his kid yet again. Mm-hmm. And then we're in the Ferrari with Dennis, Carl driving and George in the passenger seat.
Yep. And Carl's just like yakking about how much he hates his wife.
Yeah, and Carl is definitely coked up here.
It seems like, but he was in jail, so maybe not. I don't know.
Potentially just for the drive home. And then we get a kind of a veiled threat here, right? Where he's just like, hey man, I won't let my wife go to another man. I have her followed. He basically tells her that, tells him that. Yep. And then at least I would never have him go to another man, at least not a living man, And it's just like, wink, wink. Wonder if this is going to come back later. Which seems like a perfect
segue
cliffhanger.
Yep.
Yeah. We know you've been into it. You're dying to know what happens now.
Yeah, well, wait till Thursday when part 2 still comes out, right?
Yeah. And then you can find out. Does George go to Patty and throw her in a dryer? No, that's not.
Yep. Does Param get laid? Does Denise get laid?
Does Lewis score a tying goal?
Does Lewis get to drive the Ferrari?
Do we figure out what Matt does for a living and why he's got this home? Or is he just dressed up just to walk around the house all day?
Yeah. I like the questions game.
Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with part 2, and you can get all the answers to all these questions. But in the meantime, you should follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. We're also at TMTPod on Twitter, and you should subscribe to us wherever you listen to us, whether it's Google, Spotify, iHeart, all the other ones.
Apple. Yeah.
Apple. That's an important one too. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Do it. Or while you're there, leave us a review. If you're listening right now, that means you're qualified. You've listened to at least us say this part.
You've made it this far. So
right.
Express your emotions in words.
Yeah. Tell us how you felt about that episode.
And us.
Yeah. How do you feel about us? Are we grating? Irritating? Awful?
No.
Find out in the next episode.
No, don't talk about us directly, because that's going to make my anxiety go through the roof. Just talk about the show in general. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Or, leave us an email. Drop us an email. Leave us one. You can leave it at our doorstep. Print it out. I'll give you Russ's address.
No, that's not true.
But our email address is itsthismeetsthat@gmail.com, or you can go and listen to all of our older episodes at our website, which is itsthismeetsthat.com. And I think that covers us.
Yeah. See you Thursday.
Love you.